Hello and welcome. My name is John Woodsio and I am the rebel without a brush. There will be no brush use in this tutorial. I call it sandwich. So if you are like me, brush or stylish challenge, this tutorial is for you. However, there is a time in the tutorial where brushes could be used. So there's something for everyone. So please join me. I am using the latest version of Photoshop on this tutorial, but it will work with them all. When you open the site, it is daunting to the beginner. So many students get frustrated with the massive options. I still remember the early days on Photoshop 5.5. I had the idiot's guide and I threw the book against the wall so many times the pages were falling apart. I learned later they weren't up to date with updates. Most teaching methods includes a few components and exercises, followed by a new bunch the next session. You learn the new ones, but forget the old. I played around with Photoshop for 20 plus years and still don't know all the options. This tutorial will introduce you to steps necessary to create something that you will like. Even though it's relatively simple and doesn't require a lot of tedious work, like making selections and so forth, there is still a lot of options. So with that, let's get started. On this side, there are the tools, and some you have to click to get even more. Again, overwhelming. We're only going to use a few. On this side are the palettes, and more in the pull down called windows. You only need the layers palette. I have history and actions included, and we'll get into them later. And I suggest you get the navigator tool. And that's it. That's all you need. Okay, let's bring up the picture. I have one provided, but this will work on any picture type. Portraits will need a lot of modifications. Okay, click on the programs, open and find it. Okay. There are three things I do first. One, I make a copy right away. Right click, save, and give it a name. And then delete the original. The second is to change the size to 3000 pixels on the longest side. That's shown here. The reason is because we will be using filters and they can function best at this site. Third, make a duplicate of the background. You do this by clicking and hold, drag it down to the square box and release, and voila, there it is, a duplicate layer. These layers are independent of each other. That's why it's important to leave the background alone. You never know when you might need it. On the left is a box containing an eye symbol. Click on it, we'll turn it on and off. For our sandwich, we will need 2 more layers. So we repeat this 2 more times. We'll have 4 layers in total. The upper layer, you can call it the upper crust. You can label it if you want. Just double click here. We're going to turn this one off and the toppings layer, leaving the lower piece of bread. We click on that. A picture is made up of space and lines. In this layer, we will be concerned with the space. There are many ways to achieve this. We will use the blurring filter this time. Click on Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur. You'll get this window. Move the bar to about there. It's not all that important, as you will see. On the opacity window, click on the triangle. You can adjust how much of the layer is seen from 0 to 100%. Turn on the toppings and click on the top layer. This layer will be concerned with lines. Again, there are many filter choices which we will explore in future sessions. Click on Filter, Stylize, and Fine Edges. This picture needs stronger lines. Click on Image, Adjust, and Levels, and you'll get the window. On the top diagram, bring the triangle to the right to about there. In Photoshop, going too far is okay. There are tools to bring it back, so I always go overshoot. I want to remove the colors now. Click on Image, Adjustment, and Black, White, and you get this window. Click on each color. What you want to see is some of the lines in various colors of gray. So you can use these or use your own settings. Now I want to smooth out the lines a bit. Click on Filter, Stylize, and Oil Paint. I use this filter a lot and I keep them at full max. Click OK and you get a smooth image. Remember, you can always cut back. Go to Edit and Fade. Okay, more complications. Click on the triangle in the box labeled Normal and you have more choices. The choice here is how to blend this layer with the one below. Click on the one labeled Multiply. What this does is to make white transparent, so all you see is the lines. Now we arrive at the topping layer where the magic really happens. Click on the Normal button and click on Color Dodge. Then click on the image, adjust it and invert. You should see something with mostly grayed out like is shown here in some colors. Now, anything black on this image, it's like it's becoming transparent. So a paintbrush could be a lot of fun here. I can use a fancy brush and put it on black and voila, you have all these options. Lots of fun with the brush here. Over here in the history palette, I can remove them all and leave it back to the clean slate, which I will do. I will be painting with a filter. Again, there are all kinds of options here which I will explore in future sessions. Click on Filter, Stylize, and Solarize, and voila, you got your picture. Now, you can adjust the opacity of all three layers to get what you want. When you're satisfied with what you want, you got to make the image on one layer. Now, if you go to Layer, Merge Layer, it will flatten the image, and once done, you can't go back. There are times, believe me, when you decide to change the layers in some way. So what to do? Hold the Option key while clicking on the Merge Visible button will give you the image on the top layer. Now it's independent and the sandwich is preserved. Make a copy and click on Filter and click on Camera Raw. There's a ton of settings to play around here. We want basic. Play around and compare yours with mine. When satisfied, click OK. One final thing. There are tools called the Burn and Dodge tool. They darken and lighten the image of the chosen areas. A far better way is to use the Gradient tool over here. The gradient you want is in the basic window and is foreground to transparent. And circle the one that you want to make a circle right there. I prefer the Gradient tool over a brush. It does not leave a line. You click on the desired spot, hold, move, and then release. You can change the opacity to suit, and so you just go around and do what you want. There are other things we can do, but that's a good spot to stop. I suggest you do this over and over with images so that the process becomes rote. Please leave comments. Thank God you have Google to help with any problems. Please subscribe and click on the mailing list. Till next time, keep making sandwiches. This is the Rebel Without the Cause. Without the brush. Good day.